Okay, so this video is to show how to check on invoices and deposits if you want to see um, if things have been processed yet. If, for example, you're trying to figure out the most accurate accounting of, let's say, how much you've spent in one fund area. This sort of goes along with the video of checking the budget in Abila. If you're wondering where you're at in terms of the budget for the year in expenses and revenues. So there's two ways that you can do this. If you want to check, like if you just sent down a stack of invoices and you want to see if they've been processed, the quick and dirty way is to just run the statement of revenues and expenditures. And it's like, for example, if you know there should be a payment to Alex for cleaning, in that cleaning line, you can look and see, is that there? If you have a whole bunch of things and you're just not sure what exactly, that might take too long to do it that way. One thing you can do is do this expanded general ledger, and you do edit. And what I usually do is I'll do like this month. So if I just sent things down, I want to know, okay, this month, what has hit in there. So it's like I made a mistake last time. So 035 is all you want. So if there's anything else here you don't want, you just select it and then hit this little arrow to get it out of there. So hit that. And what it's going to do is it's going to show you this big, long report that has revenues and expenses in it. The revenue doesn't have the detail like it does on the blue sheets that you fill out, the deposit reports. So if you want to check something specifically, you have to just look at the total that will be in this general ledger report and compare it to your paper deposit report if you want to see what was in that deposit. That's one limitation. But in terms of the invoices, it tells you exactly what's been paid, the date that it's gone out, what the fund code attached to it was, the vendor name, and all of that. Okay, so you can ignore these parts. And actually, I'm not going to do it just to save time, but you want to export this just so you're not monopolizing this report for too long. But since I'm doing it really quick, these beginning pages, this is business office stuff. So if you go down, once you start seeing like this, like these are the actual code numbers. So this is just the current balance for the year that's happened. You can see here was a deposit on the 3rd, and it was 210 for fines. So this same deposit, donations, 315. So this is, you know, here's some expenses. You can see the wages are coming out of the expenses. It has the date on it. But here you go. Here's an example of the vendor. So you can see the medical benefits. Here's the vendor who was paid, the date, and the amount. So you can see, you can scroll through all of these and see all kinds of things like this. Yeah, here's Kellen, who was paid for yoga. Here's the account she was paid out of. Insurance. So it gives you an idea if you want to see, okay, those things went through. This is also helpful too, if a vendor reaches out and says, like, you know, this is an overdue payment, and you're like, wait, I sent that down to be paid, and you want to check on it. Another way you can check on this is if there's like one thing or just a few you want to check, you can use a different report. Close this. Remember, you never want to save. And you can go to down here, vendor activity payment listing. So this is nice because you can search a few different ways. Okay, so I'm going to say again, let's say like this month. And let's say Okay, so this should always look like this. You fill in 035 or 036 if you're looking for a capital campaign expense, and you can do vendor name. And now I'm thinking about it, that's what I always use. I just do vendor name. So this, you're looking for a specific payment. So let's say we're doing like let's do Alex, AC maintenance. And you can just type in and it will show you, or you can scroll through, but there's a ton. So we'll look at that. And just like we do with other reports, you hit print a screen. Take a second. This is also a helpful report if you're ever stuck on what code to use for something, especially if it's something that like only comes once a year. Like you would ask me about one of the insurances and I couldn't remember, was it just general insurance? Was it workman's comp? So what I did was I looked up the name, I think it was Philadelphia Insurance Companies for last year to see what code was it for then. So it's nice you have that resource. You can look at what did we use in the past, because that's, should be correct. Sorry, I don't know why this is taking so long. Normally these are pretty fast because it's not a lot of information that it's bringing back. Okay, so here we go. So this is the date the check was cut. And I believe, I should check with the business office about this. I think they're sent the same day. So you can say, okay, this check was cut on the 10th. You even have the check number. If there's an invoice number, it'll be here. And then the code that we use. So you can also do this report in another way. You can get rid of the vendor name. You just select and hit here. Get out of there. And you can do GL code. Oh, wait, that's not right. Sorry. Which one is it? You can see I don't do it this way a lot. GL account type. No, that's not it. Okay, just ignore me. I'm gonna have to look at this. There is a way that you can search by the actual code if you are like want to see how much have I spent, this month for electricity or whatever. But I'm just not remembering which one of these it is. Again, something the business office can help with. But usually I always just search for vendor name in here. So that is pretty much it. Okay.